Okay, so let's take this circle here, down here in the r theta plane, although I've drawn x and y axes, it's the r theta plane, okay? We could do this in any coordinate system, okay? And it's not, well, we'll see which ones are easier, because we'll do it in all three, okay? So we have the sphere rho equals 2. Now I'm kind of mixing up polar and spherical coordinates here, more or less intentionally, so you think through the relationships, okay? And we want the area of the region above this circle, but below the upper half of the sphere, okay? So I could kind of draw that region. I mean, this point's going to be in it, right? At this point, we'll come up maybe this high. This point will come, well, we'll come up higher than that. This point, similarly. At this point, we come all the way up to here. And in this plane, we've got an arc here. We've got a straight line here. It's going to be hidden. We've got an arc down to here, and we've got an arc along this circle like this, and an arc around here like so. And it's getting hard to visualize, but that arc kind of continues around to here and so forth. And we got this strangely shaped region above here, and I haven't done a great job of drawing it, but you get the idea. Okay? So how are you going to describe that region in polar, rectangular, cylindrical, rectangular, spherical coordinates? I'll give you a hint. You don't want to describe it in spherical coordinates if you can help it.
Because we're not centered at the origin?
Huh?
Is it because we're not centered at the origin?
Yeah, this thing isn't centered at the origin, although you could describe this because theta is still one of the angles in spherical coordinates, right? But how do you do r in spherical coordinates? Well, that would be rho sine phi, right? So rho sine phi would equal 2 cosine theta, and now you've got a relationship between rho and phi and theta. It's going to be kind of complicated to deal with. And you should do it. You should write it out and ask yourself, why is this more difficult than the alternatives, okay? Basically, it's that you have a cylindrical region that's easily described in cylindrical coordinates intersecting with a sphere, which is easy to describe in cylindrical coordinates, okay? So both this and the sphere are easy enough to describe in cylindrical coordinates, and they're reasonably easy to describe in rectangular coordinates. So I'm thinking, you know, I haven't worked it out. You're going to do that in a minute, okay? But my suspicion is that cylindrical is probably going to be the easiest. Rectangular won't be that bad, but spherical is going to be more difficult because of the cylindrical nature here. Okay? That's not something you can necessarily take to the bank. You got to develop that through experience. So maybe my experience is such that I know what I'm talking about, and maybe not. We'll see. Okay? When I say that the spherical is going to be kind of intractable. Okay?